So I will record on here and see if I can record it on D2. Oh, caption close. Okay, I'll record both. All right. So now on the policy, if you scroll down a little bit, right here, this is a link for some some good or important information that you might need to find in the future. And important date, face covering policy. If I click on the important date, this is just give you about the schedule of academy, like when you can draw and stuff like that. Okay. And now we will have a 3 project. For the 3rd project, though, this is final project. Last semester we did a mining truck. However, I might have to change because of I talked to Todd, and then Todd wanted to do some kind of old truck instead. So we will see. But the technique will be the same. The same heart, the same length of lecture will be exactly same. And dental room will try to match with the actual reference. I will walk you through how to do it. And so basically you try to mimic a realistic to match with the original reference. So including camera shot, lighting, and model. Now, the model, you don't have to concern so much about topology on this project. Just matching the form and shape. That's it. And now, the 3rd and 1st, that's what you really need to focus on topology. And I will bring example to show it to you later too. And now the course object purpose of the course to provide a student with entry-level skill of work in modeling for entertainment in industry, including game asset, animation, and such. And now the learning outcome, I'm going to skip a little bit, you can read this, so that you create and use necessary documentation for modeling creation, apply entry-level theories or best practice for your modeling design, create and optimize low and high polygon geometry, so that has to be efficiency. And so now, the required material, you just need your hard drive for your backup. How many of you don't have hard drive here? So if you don't, you have to buy one. And now, you will still have a, I forgot, hold on one moment. I got to share the screen too on the other class. Okay. One moment, guys. Why I cannot share the screen? Oh, I know what happened. Hold on. That one. Okay. So, share this screen. And so, okay, temporary, you can, each one of you has a OneDrive, ETSU OneDrive. It's connected to your email, basically. So you just access email and then go to OneDrive. You can store file. I think every one of us has quite a bit of space, maybe 1 terabyte, but I'm not sure. So it's quite large. And the other area that you can store your file, but temporary, you go to ETSUE3. Here we go. And under student digital DIGM student, you have your folder that you can access. But I think you have limit space here because they all share. And now, when you submit your assignment, there will be two places. I will allow you to submit on Dropbox, which is using OneDrive, and share the link, and I can download it. But if you're on campus, though, you should use a DIGM classes and go to my folder, read. And inside your class folder, I will put a project 1 turn in, project 2 turn in, and things like that. And then I will also put some of the class stuff that we will need to use for our class. And so let me stop that quick. And now on submission online, under contents, you will have a term project submission. In class exercise submission, I will create each week I will create a submission for what we have done in class. So it's not like your homework, it's just what you are doing in class, you just submit it. Okay. So, and those will be great. And under important information, I will post like summary of lecture if we need it, and other stuff on here. Okay. Now, project 1. You will use this for your reference and build object. For accuracy and good topology, everything should be quad as much as possible. And I will show you how to do this. And basically, you try to copy it. And then for the final turn in, you just render it out. You can duplicate them and lay them out, or you can use Photoshop to overcompose. It's fine. Okay. And now, project 2, dental surgery room. So you can download the reference file here. I will show you how to set up the camera so that you get close to or exactly like the reference camera shot. And then you build it, you will light it, and this one is not A+1 because the lighting is still slightly different. And you show the comparison. So you use Photoshop to overlay and show the wireframe, see if it matches with your original reference or not. So that's project 2. And project 3, this is from last semester. So a little more objects. You do multiple sections and compose them together into one object. And we have a lot of reference here, and this is a blueprint that we can use, and a little more photo of detail on tire, part of the real truck bed and stuff like that. Okay. So now, any questions so far about what we will be doing? Good. Now, during this, throughout the semester, you might change your mind, like you don't feel comfortable to come to class, just go to Zoom. But it will happen at the same time as the official class schedule. So basically, you have to be able to access the Zoom over the internet on your computer. How many of you don't have computer at home? Okay. So that's good. And make sure you bring a headphone just in case you want to log in into Zoom and to hear while I'm talking if you can't hear it well. So, and while you are working at home, if you decided to do that, make sure you have access to microphone. If you don't have one, you can log into your computer plus your cell phone. So you can use both at the same time. Yes?
I don't think it's Maya 2019, I think it's 2018. Do I need to update that?
Yeah, update to 2020. And you need to download directly and manually install it. Sometimes it doesn't work with the Autodesk app. It just said you don't have permit, but you can manually do it.
Okay.
So when you do it, download, install it, it will update into your app. And then from that on, you'll be able to update them.
Okay.
I don't know why it does that. Right.
Yeah, is there still the student workaround where
Yes.
you can render things without the, okay.
Yes, yes. So, and now anything else if I forget? Oh, one more thing. On September 14 to September 18, I won't be here. I'll be off. I'll be out of town. So the session will be online. Most likely, I will create a video beforehand, and then we just watch and finish. Okay. And today, I'm not going to do check roll yet. And I'll start it to do next section. Anything else if I forget? So maybe we should get started to do warm up a little bit in Maya software. So let's open it up. Okay. And for the video lecture, it will be available right away after class in class folder, but I will post it on YouTube. It's going to take me about 1.5 hours to load it. So it should be like a couple hours after we online also. And I will send the link to everybody so that you can go check it if you need to. But if you're on campus, you could just copy it into your thumb drive or anywhere that you wanted to save it. And then you can rewatch them later. Okay. So how many of you already forget how to use Maya? Okay, so we go slow. So after you open it, this is quite important in Maya workflow. You need to set up the project. You need to have a project because when you render it out, or when you do animation, we don't do animation of course, but when you render it out, Maya need to save the render image inside a images folder. If you need a texture, Maya need all the texture to be inside source images folder. Now, to create a new project, really easy. You go to File menu, Project window, you will get this. Now, by default, though, if you restart the computer, it will reset to C drive. If you don't, it will stay to wherever your drive set it to. So now we need to create a new folder, new, under current project. Location, click on Browse, go to My Computer under the navigator, and data drive. That's where you wanted to save them temporarily. So on the D drive is the local drive on each computer. So it means if you move to different computer, your file will not follow you because it will stay into whatever the first computer you save. Now, inside D drive, just create a new folder, call your name. So that's easier when you copy and paste. When you're done for today. Like for example, I have my backup here, so I'm gonna copy and paste in there. Now, some of you though, I did that sometime too. I directly create my folder inside my external drive. However, it will slow down a bit, or a lot. It depends on what type of drive you have. And another thing is, if something happened, like file corrupted, you will lose. So I like to be safe by save everything on the local drive, because local drive is direct memory access. And then when you're done, you just copy the whole thing and overwrite whatever the old folder that you have, or put into the new folder on your hard drive. So right now I'm gonna put inside the local drive, and I organize a little bit. You don't have to organize like what I'm doing. And then just select the folder you wanted to assign to. Now, I'm gonna call the folder DIGM 2530, is it? 2530, yes. And M1, you don't have to name like mine, 420 week 01 project. So, and when you click accept, make sure you create new first in order to navigate to the new location, and then rename it, or rename it first, up to you. Accept. Now, let's go out to our Window Explorer. I'm gonna click on Window Explorer, and I'm gonna navigate it to my PC. I want to keep that folder. Under D drive, my folder, and under lecture, and here's the folder, project folder. When I double click on it, Maya has all of this information. Workspace, Maya need to read that to initialize the workflow of whatever your project is. So, and the scene folder will be all your project work will be there. And image folder, when you render it, source images for texture. These are the main components that often used. The rest of them is depend if you do animation and if you need sounds, things like that. So now, when you back it up though, you back this up. Just copy it to your hard drive. I'm gonna copy my whole project first. Copy it, go to my hard drive. Let me tap spacebar right here. Oh, not that one. Okay. And I'm gonna back it up. Right there, lecture. Here we go. So I'm gonna just paste my folder. Oops, I did it wrong. I pasted the whole thing, I think. I just need that one. Let me get rid of that. Okay. Oops. So, and here's my backup. So right now, after you create a new project, you can save your scene as right away. And Maya know where to go. It will take you to the scene folder under the correct project. So I'm gonna call a intro to Polygon. I can just put intro Polygon. Okay. 01. Just in case we might have 02. So now, let's go back to the project folder one more time. Oh, that's the wrong one. Here we go. So, and if you double click on scene, see, you get that Polygon file. So, and once again, when you back up the whole project directory. Easier, unless you don't want to do override every time you just come in and copy only one file and drop in the same folder, but inside your external drive. Okay, let's talk about the anatomy of the polygon. On the polygon modeling, you have a shortcut these are standard Maya shortcut. The modeling section right here, but the detail of create modeling is under create menu, polygon primitive. We will not use NURBS primitive at this time. We will just focus only polygon primitive. And go ahead, just create one sphere. Maya put these are more popular model, popular primitive. And when you see a triangle like this. When you click up, oh, it means you can change to a different type of, I think, hold on. I'll come back on that. Let's do spherical first. So now, these appear to be smooth, but it's actually not a high polygon at all. So when you work for game, you don't want it to create a super high polygonal, but you want it to mimic the smoothness. By default, all the primitive has a smooth tangents of the normal. So let's take a look at this. Let's duplicate. Control D shortcut. I want to show you something. Here we go. And the new one, though, you're going to go to display, match display, and change to harden edges. Okay. So two object has exactly same polygon count, but one is appear to be smooth. The other one is not. What OpenGL does this. Can you select both of them? And under display, polygons, turn on Vertex Normal right here. Vertex Normal. Look like this. So now, if I select both, can you see the difference? The hardened edge has more vertex normal. Actually, they are same number of the vertex normal. The vertex normal is belong to vertex, each vertex like that. So if you right click, you switch to selection component. So to simulate, create an illusion of smooth across the surface, you can program it to make the normal, all four direction of the normal to be one. Same thing, each corner has four normals because of four corner. If you have 3 corners, you will get only 3 normals. So this is called normal, vertex normal. Now, when all the vertex normal are lined up and point into a single direction, you get a smooth look of the edge. So it means when you're working for model for game or even animation, you could do a low resolution or medium resolution, but you can mimic the smooth surface. Okay, so now, why do we need to concern about this? Because every time when you extrude it, Maya will create a facet look of the surface. So basically, normal will split. You have to assign the smooth surface manually by using that menu in the future. Okay, so soft edge and hardened edge. So now if I switch to soft edge, can you see? It's moving, change the orientation of the normal to match. So now, the other one though, we're gonna turn off the vertex normal because it's gonna get confusing. Go to display again, polygons. I can tear these off a little bit. Here we go. And let's turn off vertex normal by toggle it off. This time, turn on face normal. Here we go. Face normal and vertex normal are different. Face normal will appear into the direction of the face and orientation of the face, and it will stick right on the center of each faces. So now, these are quad. Quad face contain triangle, 2 triangles. So let's turn off a face normal quick. Now, turn on show triangle. So face triangles right here. Now these are invisible, and at the moment you will see each surface are planar, are flat. Can you see no breaking? So when there's no breaking, when you rotate, you will get all smooth across. It depends on the angle, but if the plane, right now, let's say two plane, right, two triangle, if one plane started to angle it, it will happen when we do modeling. It will create a black color in certain angle, but it doesn't mean you have a hole. It just, the OpenGL cannot read those fast. So now, in video game, you might curious like why they converted to triangle, but why do we have to build as a quad? Triangle to eliminate that problem. Yes?
What does the 3 key do to the model?
So,
What does the 3 key do to the model? As
oh,
far as
yeah.
the-
Let's talk about the number 3, right? 1, 2, 3, yeah. So now we will talk about that soon. Okay. Now let's try this. There's a shortcut. One is the actual model, actual resolution. 2, you will create a proxy. I mean, the proxy will show, let me turn off the face normal quick. Oh, sorry, triangle. Okay, can you see? These are a display mode. It's nothing, really do anything on the model. It just display the smoothness with the original proxy. So the proxy is the 1. 2 is 3. The smooth is the 3. So now we will use 3 so that we can see the future of smooth surface if we need to. If you don't need, we can use that for rendering in Arnold, but not in Maya software. Yes.
I know it's inefficient, but can't you also bake or not bake it, but
To make it.
Can't you make the 3 the 1
Yeah.
somehow?
So you have to do a edit mesh and smooth right here. So
But is that not good?
it's too dense.
Okay.
So, but it depends. If you do animation, required to have that, fine. So, but for video game, they would use a normal map instead. So you can make that as high as you want it, but bake it to normal map and then go down to the low division and then you map it over. So now, Maya doesn't let you do that though. I mean, doesn't let you do baking, but doesn't let you go up and down, high and low, unlike the ZBrush. But you can do by you finish the blocking stage or detail stage, that enough, and then you duplicate them, create high, bake it as a normal, and then map to the lower. So there's things that you can go around. Okay, so I'm gonna go back to 1. And now vertex, let's see if I do plane. Let me move this to 1. Here we go. So this is quad face, and quad face will have 2 triangles, right? I gotta turn on wireframe on shade a little bit so that you can see without I select it. Can you see? So now, if you right click, you have vertex, you have vertex face. We will talk about vertex face because we will use for checking irregular normal polygon faces. And then you have face, and then you have edge. So edge is connected by 2 points, but edge cannot stand alone. It has to have face. So it means edge has to have at least 3 edges in order to display the polygon. It can't stand alone. Now vertex can stand alone, but it has to be on the surface. The problem with the vertex standalone is we call isolate vertices. We need to eliminate them, unless if they are on one corner. So we will talk about that because we will get to that point. Okay. And face contain 2 triangle. Triangle contain 3 edges and 3 vertex. Now, each vertex, when you see that each corner has to be single vertex, but connect by at least 3 lines. So, or 2 lines, at least 2 lines. And pretty much it's about this. One other thing, so later on we will talk about showing display the backface. So backface coloring is right here. Keep wire or turn it on, and then you can keep wire or keep harding edge. Right now you will see a black. The reason that become black is easy to identify which one is font, which one is black. Okay. Now, can you try this? Right click to edge. When you click one edge, if you hold shift key, you can drag and extrude the edge. Okay. So now when you look at face, they point into the same direction. Back face into the same direction. So this is good. This is called a normal polygonal. Now, can you select the edge again on the bottom? Hold shift and drag. This is the problem. Okay. So what is the problem? Well, on the top, let's go to object mode and turn on a face normal. Here we go. This is a problem. This is good. That is good. This is bad. Because this is back face, point into this direction. Front face also point into that direction. So this is called non-manifold faces, and it's quite a problem. And you may be able to export it to some of OpenGL application, but it might give an error. It might not allow you to import it at all, or it may open it up, but it's make a hole. For 3D print, these are not working at all. It's going to crash. So now, when you do, I can select face to delete the whole section. Okay. Now, if I undo quick, if you select only edge, you can't delete some part of the edge, but also you can delete some part of the edge. I'm not doing like this. We'll talk about that soon. Okay. So now, to delete the whole section or whole polygon face, you will select the face and hit delete. Okay. So let's talk about this. What about these edges? If you double click on the edge, it will select the whole loop. Okay, that's how you select it. You can also do like this. Let's use selection tool easier, because if you use move tool, you might move them by accident. So select one edge on the sphere, hold shift key, and double click on the next edge here. You select that row. So you can do this technique to select multiple edges. You can do, how about horizontal, shift, double click on the next. You get that selection. Okay. Now deselect by clicking somewhere else. Let's try this. You can select the section between the edge here between there by hold shift, double click on whatever space you want, and it will select within that selection. Same thing as face. Select face. Here we go. I can select. If you double click on the next component, on the next component, will select the row, the loop on that direction. Here we go. So this is how to help you to speed to select. Now let's try this. Double click, just double click one loop. We use this technique not just only to select, but to check if your loop are okay. The loop is mean, let's press 4 on your keyboard, switch to wireframe mode. Can you see? So now, that's the loop. If you double click and it doesn't go all the way looping, so it means it's not correct loop. You might have to look which part are missing. It might be triangle, or it might missing something. I'm gonna press 5 to go back. Okay. Now, can you try to press delete? Go ahead, delete it. This time we can delete it because it's followed the loop, it's correct geometry, it's not non-manifold like this one. Now the problem with this, when you use delete key, can you see when you move your cursor over edges? These are preview the selection. Edge between 2 points are not a single line. This is not correct. This will cause problem with deformation, problem with a lot of things, and problem with exporting to another application that use OpenGL. That because of this. Can you right click, choose vertex? These are isolate vertices. So in theory, you could go in, I can switch to 4 so that I can see. Let's select like this and press delete on the vertex. You can delete the vertex, the isolate vertices or isolate vertex, but you cannot delete the vertex that connect to the edge and face. So now, can you undo all until go back to this? The correct way to delete the edge, though, 90% of the time, you will use this function. You would use edit mask, delete edge, and vertex. So it should be under delete edge and vertex. Should be under vertex right here. Under edge, sorry. Delete edge and vertex. Shortcut is Control Delete. So now when we do that, can you see the line are flat right away? When you go to a vertices, you won't see it. So this is the correct way. Okay. I said 90% of the time because there are another 10% of the time that you just want to relay out your loop. So you want to keep the vertices so that you can relink them again. Okay. So here we go. And to move the component, you can select single or multiple and move. I can grab that, move the vertices, Control C, undo. Now, if you double click on Move Tool, you have another tool that you can use. You can use soft selection. When you turn it on, you will see a yellow to red. Yellow is full effect. Black is no effect. The in-between is just how much fall off to create inference of the moving. So I can reduce the volumes to, how about 2? When you move, you will get something like this. There you go. So now the shortcut is B. So if you press B, you toggle it off. Toggle it on, press B again. Now, the fall off radius, you can use B key with middle mouse button drag. The wheel, click and hold and drag. Right to the right, you increase. To the left, you decrease. And now, when we do modeling, the fall off mode, the fill mode, I like to use surface mode because surface is follow the topology. The volumes is follow the bounding box of the object. So sometimes your object might have a little like a wave or curve. You want to follow the pattern of the loop of the edge. You would want to use surface. So, and the other, I don't really use them at all. Global. Now there's an object. So it's use the object of the bounding box also. I'm not sure what the difference between that because I haven't used it yet. Okay, so I'm gonna toggle it off. Okay. Now, if you hold, when you hold right click on the mouse, you have access on a component, right? You can do all the input, which we don't do this semester. We just use only this. Now, can you go to vertex face? These allow you to check in regular surface. Like if later on in the future when we start to do extrude, you might have a straight line between gap here. That's called edge with zero space. You need to clean it because we'll have a problem later. And we will talk about that when we get to it. So, and then object mode, it just go to the object mode. Now, there's a shortcut to go component mode and object mode. The component mode is right here, and this is object. Now, if you press F8, can you see it's switched between these two, F8. Sometimes you might want to use this. Like for example, when you edit edge, and then you wanted to go to object mode, instead of right click and choose, you just press F8. There we go. And you might have to press twice. It depends. Because if you didn't press F8 to get inside, you use right click, you have to activate F8 and then press one more time to access the inside component. Okay. So now let's take a look at, let me set up my project too. I want to show you what we will be doing right away. Right there. Let me save this. Control S. Okay, so this is the model that we will do, and right now this is the low polygon model. It's just one standard. Now if I press 3, show smooth, this is for rendering. And now there's an application called Marmoset. I am not able to download and reuse it because it's only 1 month and I have already used it up. But I'm gonna give you an option to use Marmoset to turn in also, and I'll show you where to find it and how to do it. It's not hard at all. But in Marmoset, you cannot, if you export this model, it will not show display 3 because this is for Maya only. It will show this level. So it means you have to add mesh smooth, one label, and then you bring it to Marmoset. And Marmoset is allowing you to do interactive viewing of your model in 360 degree digitally. It's like a VR things. Okay. So today we're gonna start to build this cap. The cap is a little harder. Well, they're all similar, hard. Okay. So we're gonna build this. And let's see what time is it. So we got no, let's keep it for Wednesday. I think today maybe this is enough for today. Now before we leave though, I stop, and if you have questions, I'll be here. I'd like you to download the image. Go to project 1. Here we go. Oh, I didn't put it here. Okay. So let me give you inside class folder. It might be quicker. And then I will upload it online also. Let me go to reference hydrant. Here we go. All of this. Copy. And I will upload to Drive 1 and send the link later. So okay, we'll be inside class stuff. So right here, I'm gonna create a folder, new car, class stuff, and reference. You just copy it to your hard drive, and then next section I will show you how to bring it into Maya software so that we can use that as a layout, as a referencing. Okay. So, and I will drop this in OneDrive. Let me zip it.
So I don't know what it is. I'm having trouble with my.
Oh, guys, this is what I was going to say about some problem right here. It's not a big problem. Somehow, the company set the font to be a really high-speed USB. So you have to hook up on the back side only. It's a little drop because it's such a far away, and if you have a short cable, it's the worst one. So you might have to try to get a longer cable so that you can plug and then, yeah. So, okay. Let me compress this zip. Do you have any questions? So, no homework today, no class exercise. You don't have to post those files.
As far as like, are we doing much? As far as texturing, are we?
We don't do
We
text.
don't. Okay.
But if you wanted to know how, I can help you, like outside of the class.
With the exception of like unwrapping UVs and stuff like that.
Yes.
When I was taking, now I can't think of his name.
Substance.
It was actually in my animation class. He was talking about these. He was showing us. It was a 3D painting, like texturing software. that you
Substance.
import.
Painting.
Oh, substance.
Yes, substance. So basically, we have to prepare UV here, and then we bring it to substance, and then you paint it on.
Okay.
Maya allow you to paint it on screen too, but it's really limited. Just only like flat color. You can't really do high tech. But substance, that's the best one, and we have it. And oh, by the way, one more thing. I almost forget. On D2L, I post Amazon app Steam. So did you try? If somehow, let's say next week you don't feel comfortable to come, you stay home, you can use this to access the software. So basically, when you click on the link, you have to log in. Okay, and now I did it before, and I choose a app over the viewport of the web app, not the application that install in your system. So I don't have that option anymore. So now you just click on DIGM image, and we'll have Substance, Maya, and ZBrush in here. So now I know that at this point you cannot use tablet pen. If you do Amazon app, it won't let you use tablet pen at the moment. I don't know when we're gonna be able to do that. So to do painting, you still have to use mouse. Yeah, I know. So, and now the good thing about Amazon app is you don't have to have a good computer at home at all, because it doesn't use the CPU on your computer. It uses the internet, that's it. So internet has to be fast enough. And because it's run through the application over the Amazon network, it uses their system, uses their hardware. So a little weird, but it works seem okay. A little lag I test on ZBrush, but not that bad. So now, in the future, like I said, these are high flex class, so it means you can alternate being in class or being outside of the class, but on Zoom. Just have to make sure when I check roll, you are there, so that you can check roll. And if somehow middle of the semester or at some point, we don't know, if some kind of outbreak going on, we might have to shut down the school again. In that case, if you don't have a good system, talk to me, and Marty can let you borrow our old computer, which will run perfectly on the app. But you might have to do remote access, so you still need internet to access the software. Okay. At the moment, though, if you can install the Maya education, perfect, because you don't have to worry about those at all. Okay. So, and that's what I want to talk about, the app Steam. Let me end the session. And here we go. Lock out. Okay. Oh, I lock out. The way to save the file, though, that's a little strange. You might need to save directly to the desktop of the app, and then you download it to your computer. You can't save directly to your computer. You can save in the work folder, home folder, it's called home folder in the app. And then you click to download it to your hard drive. So a little workaround, but not too bad. Okay, I'm gonna put this inside. Let's see. And I'm gonna put the video inside on the D2L on the YouTube also, but not now. Let me stop the record quick.